Hello everybody, this is Steve from Old Boy Moto. G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. I just thought I'd do this little clip as a further video from the Triumph Trident that I showed you in the previous one. Yeah, just a little problem with the bike that I thought I might bring to people's attention. And seeing it's such another lovely day, we've had another 50 millimeters of rain, and I'm just being sarcastic again because I'm over this weather. It's nearly the end. Well, it's the end of the first week in October, and we're 5 weeks into spring, so this is just unbelievable. The amount of rain has just been phenomenal. Shouldn't whinge because I know there's a lot of towns that are battling with floods, so we're lucky we're high up. So yeah, but we will be affected in certain ways. But anyway, back to the bike. I'll just run over this little problem. So there's a rattle, and I finally worked it out. And it's common. It's pardon me, my brain doesn't work, as you know. People that watch my channel know that I get these brain freezes. Yeah, the alternator. Once the bike warms up and the alternator's warm, it starts to rattle, and you'd swear it was coming from gears or something, but it's actually the alternator. And a guy who's got a Thunderbird actually told me that that's probably what it is. The shaft that runs through the alternator, on the other end there's like an impeller which goes into the engine, which runs it obviously, which turns it on some rubbers. They're like damping rubbers. Well, the centre bolt that runs on the shaft on the inside loosens up, and that impeller is on a spline, and it just starts to rattle on the spline, and boy oh boy, it sounds like the bike's going to fly to bits. Okay, so I've pulled the alternator off, I've pulled the cover off for a start. That little panel had to be removed. For a while there I thought that pipe would have to come off, but it doesn't. And that little banjo for the hydraulic clutch, you just got to loosen that and push that forward a bit so you can get in and get one of these bolts out. So there's 3 mounting bolts. That's actually back to front now, and that's the sucker there that's causing the problem. So that rattle comes from that. I hope you can hear that. And it's pretty loud when the bike's idling. So what I'm going to do is take this screw off and see if I can do something to tighten that down a bit more. It's a pain in the bum. It's pretty tight in there, but you will get your bolts out fairly easily if you've got one of these slim type 12 millimeters, and get it all back in there and you'll be fine. But that's the sucker there. That's where the rattling's coming from. Yeah, right, so I've got my bolt off and I've taken it off. Now there's a spline there, and on my particular one it's getting a little bit rusty there, so I'm worried about that. There's no metal on it or anything, but I'd say the more that rattles, the more wear on that shaft. So what I might try and do is clean that up. I might even try and dampen it down with a little bit of silicone. Now that might sound a little bit drastic, but I'm thinking there's no real reason that stays fixed. So there's no real reason I can't put a little bit of silicone on there, just like a gasket thing on the spline. Tighten it down, let it dry overnight, and then hopefully even, I mean, it's not going to stop it from moving, but it'll stop that rattle, I'm hoping. Yeah, so I've just put a little bit of this gasket maker on the spline there, as you can see. I've cleaned up all that sort of stuff now. I'll just pop that on, just sliding on. Now hopefully that is just going to take up that little bit of slop in there, and it'll cushion that propeller type thing on the spline. So yeah, I'm hoping that helps someone, guys. It's probably the easiest solution I can come up with, but if that keeps rattling on there, it's eventually going to strip that out. And big job, you know, shaft, the whole thing, got to be replaced, probably expensive. So all right, I'm not going to touch that now. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to put my bolt back on, a little bit of Loctite on the front of that, and I'll pinch it up as tight as I can. Hopefully that'll be good. There we go, very happy with that. Let's stop that rattle and stop that wear in there. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video, and hopefully the weather will improve and we'll go for a ride on the Triumph Trident for you. Bye for now.